Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about the gun halves that you're going to want to have in your team by the end of the season. So we're most likely just going to have two and maybe an in-betweener, maybe someone that's a wing fullback half dual player who would be your cover. So let's just look at the top guys. And I believe I have one of them in my side, and Munster would obviously be another, but he's currently injured, so we'll leave him out. So Cleary. He has played 5 games and is averaging 70. So I'm pretty sure that's keeper level. He is the main half in the Panthers team. That's what we want to look for. He does the bulk of the kicking meters. 591, 564 the last 2 weeks. So definitely the bulk. He kicks the goals. He scores a few tries. He kicks the field goals. He's the one setting up the tries and then makes around 20 tackles. He does miss a few, but it's still a positive. So he's in everything, guys, which leaves him with an average of 70. That 35 is definitely an outlier. So he's someone that I'd be targeting definitely at the end of the season, guys. If you don't have him already, if you're like me and have him, then let's just hope he doesn't get injured. Anyway, moving along, let's jump into our halves. So let's go in the filters and go in the positions into our half section. All right, so there are other options that we have in there. Cherry Evans averaging 57, so a fair bit less than Cleary. He just hasn't had any massive games. So he's someone that's really consistent. The 50, 72, 60, 57, 61, 57, and 42 last week. So a quiet one. He did look a little bit lost without Tommy Trobb. They just create so much more attack together. He did still get a try assist, line break assist, but kick meters were down. It was just a very off game for the Manly boys. Didn't have enough ball. With the Sharks beating him. So he's also someone, guys, that I think you'd want at the end of the season. 57's a very high number. The only other thing to think about is what some of the other guys were averaging. So Moses was doing really well until he's 37-13. He's got a couple of 40s in there. So Cherry Evans is much more consistent than a Moses, and is why I think you'd want him in your team at the end of the year. Also, the fact that Cherry Evans is definitely the dominant half, again, with Dylan Walker, but even with Lockie Croker, whoever's beside him, he's the dominant half. Mitch Moses as Dylan Brown, who doesn't kick as much in general play, but is just as potent in attack as Moses is, so they'll go left a lot more, which is why I'd say probably don't go to Moses, especially if you have him right now. I'd definitely hold for the 2 or 3 weeks, even with the extra trades that we're going to get, but I wouldn't be bringing him in come the end of the season. Shaun Johnson, he's going to be a little bit more up and down. The last few weeks he's done really well. The 48, obviously. He does kick the goals too. It's 2 72s and a 53 is really cool, but Shaun Johnson's always been a player that's been up and down. He at the Warriors, he was a lot more rocks and diamonds. He'd get you 90, 80, 90, and then get you 30 the next week. It was a pain in the ass, but he would always average that 55 at the end of the season. And I feel like he's going to average that again. To me, he's not in the top. I wouldn't be buying him as a top 2 half. I definitely have Cleary and Cherry Evans ahead of him. I think I'll even have the next player on this list ahead of him, only just. So you see how many try assists is 3, 1, 2, 2. He's got the most try assists in the competition, and he's still only averaging 55. So there's a chance that he dips in those try assists and doesn't score as well. So that's just something to think about there. Yeah, kick meters are fairly strong and runs the ball. So good option. If you have him, sweet. If not, all good. All right, the one I'd have just ahead of Johnson is actually Kyle Flanagan. Being in such a superstar team, you see what he's scoring since after the first 2 games. So even when they played really bad the first 2 games, he got 40 and 47 in his first couple of games of the club. So following that, yes, he scored a few tries, but he kicks goals in such a high-scoring team. He's just got so many easy points that way, and being a half in a team that's dominating is always going to be good. But those last 4 weeks, he's averaging 66, which is just incredible, and is why I put him over Shaun Johnson. I'm going to put him just below Cherry Evans just because he's unproven, but in a Roosters outfit that's doing so well, there's no reason why he can't keep averaging, let's just say, high 50s to be safe. So his average of 56.7. I'd say his average at the end of the season will be 57, 58. So if you're happy with that in your squad, and he is currently at a cut price, then I'd pick him up in your team. Like, sitting at 730 compared to 780 for Cherry Evans. Comes a slight steal at that price point. We spoke about Moses a bit. Luke Brooks, I'm not going to bother talking about. Georgie Williams, again, 52 average. It's probably a little bit under what we're wanting from a gun half. It's just important to think, guys, when you're trying to get your gun halves in, you do want to go for the best. Obviously, that sounds stupid. It sounds self-explanatory. That's what you're looking for, but there's no point settling for a guy that's a little bit under that, because you're just going to get annoyed by the end of the season when the other guys that are proven, like the Cherry M's, like the Clearys, that have done it for years, are constantly hitting 60s when it really matters in the back half of the season, and you're sitting 5-10 points behind, for 100k cheaper, 5-10 points every week. If you've got, what have we got, 13 rounds left, 10 points a round, 130 points. Is 130 points worth 100k? Yes, definitely. So think about going for the absolute premium in these positions, guys. Reynolds and Dylan Brown, again, this is their ceiling, 50 points. Ben Hunt's coming off the bench now. Don't want to be bothering thinking about him. Kurt Mann has been awesome for those guys that brought him in. Only other one will be Mitchell Pearce, who has done well for a long time. So he's got a score of -1 in there, and that last score of 39 in his average of 48.6. So if you go on just the last 3 average, it's 56. And I believe 56 is probably going to be his normal. They got absolutely smashed by Cowboys on the weekend, and he still snuck away with 39. So if 39 is going to be his low score, which you can say that, yes, that's his lowest score, round 1 and round 7, he's 38, 39. All these other scores are mid to high 50s, and then if he scores a try, he gets in the 70s. And that he has shown that for years and years. So he's probably the only one at that price that I'd be thinking about bringing in, because he can be close to where Cherry Evans is. He's going to be a little bit more up and down in terms of his scores, but at an average over the season, his average should be the same or close to Cherry Evans, and you can get him at 120k discount. So he's someone that I'm thinking about bringing in my team this week, just because I need to fix other areas. If I bring in Pearce, I can bring in someone. I can bring in a gun for Horsburgh. So that's just something I'm thinking about, and that'll be all for the halves, guys. So just let me know what you guys are thinking with your halves combination. The only one to think about later on down the track is Michael Morgan is coming back, and he did really well in those first 2 games. So 44 the first game against the Broncos when they got beat, and then when they won against the Bulldogs, he was in absolutely everything. Kicking 530 metres. He runs the ball as well. That's his normal. That over 100 metres is his normal, especially when Thurston's on the team. But again, that might just be like the last 5-6 rounds, because he's still out for a few more weeks. So just something to think about with your halves, guys. I'd be definitely starting to think about creating your final 17. So if you're going to be bringing in a half, thinking about either downgrading straight to someone that's extremely low at 228, who is playing. We don't want to bring in cash outs yet, but I know some people brought in like a Lockie Croker last week, and Clune and Fogarty in previous weeks. I wouldn't be bringing in those guys now, but I'd be looking to bring in some guns over the next few weeks. So let me know what you think about that video, guys. If there's any other guys that you think I've missed or that I was wrong about, let me know. And if you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe and hit the like. I really appreciate it. We're growing the subscribers really well. And